Dear students, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our new English session. Today, inshallah, we are going to continue with our selection, Make a Model of the Water Cycle from Unit 3, Week 4 in the Weekly Assessment book. But before we discuss the questions, we are going to have a quick revision about the expository text. Here we have the main points about the expository text. The first one, it gives factual information about a topic, or it gives facts about a topic. The second one, it may offer the author's conclusions supported by evidence. It can explain or show the readers the conclusions or the results that the author got, and these conclusions are supported by reasons or evidence. The last point, it may include photographs, captions, and headings. Also, it can include diagrams. So about our selection, make a model of the water cycle. As we read the selection together during our last live session, it is about the water cycle and how to make a model for the water cycle. The first question in page 159, what is the main idea of the article? The choices: A. In the water cycle, water evaporates, condenses, and falls as precipitation. B. When the water in a cloud falls as precipitation, it may fall on land or water. C. Water is about 71% of Earth's surface and needed by plants and animals. D. You can do experiment with a baggie, cup, water, food color, and a marker. When we need to choose the main idea, we choose the most general sentence that covers all the paragraphs or most of the important ideas that were mentioned in the essay that we read. So here it is going to be letter A, which is in the water cycle, water evaporates, condenses, and falls as precipitation. So the answer for number 1 is letter A. Then number 2, read the following sentence from the article. You can volunteer with 3 or 4 friends to do a team experiment. The Latin root of volunteer is vol, meaning will or wish. To volunteer means to F. Meet others, G. Doing willingly, H. Learn lessons, I. Involves friend. As we read here, meaning, will or wish, so our choice should be related to the meaning, which is letter G, doing willingly. So number 2, the answer is G. After that, question number 3, read this sentence from the article. See the diagram below. Which word has the same root as diagram? Letter A, agree, B, diameter, C, grade, D, gram. When we need to choose a word that has the same root, so we are looking for some repeated letters. Here we have diagram and diameter. The first part is repeated, so it is going to be letter B. After that, page 160, question number 4. What is the main idea of the section water cycle bagging? The choices: after you put the cup in the bag and seal it, drops will run down the sides and puddle in the bottom. G. You need a plastic bag, clear cup, water, red food color, and a marker before setting up the experiment. H. An important part of the experiment is adding the food color before putting the sealed plastic bag in a warm place. And the last one, an experiment with a plastic bag, cup, and water can show how water evaporates and then turns back to water. If we go back to check that section, which is water cycle baggie, in this part, we have the materials for the experiment, then the steps, and after that we have the explanation of the experiment. If we check the choices again, as we are looking for the main idea, we need to get the general sentence, which is an experiment with these materials can show the water evaporates and then turns back to water, or as we said, the water cycle. So the answer for question number 4 is letter I. After that, question number 5, read the sentence from the article. One way water does this is by falling into tributaries, which are rivers and streams that flow into larger bodies of water. The Latin root of tributary is trib, meaning pay. Which of the following words is most likely to come from the same root? Allowance, contribute, salary, or tribe? Of course, to pay, and also the root itself, trib, is here in contribute, the same root and the meaning of to pay. So the answer for question number 5 is letter B. After that, question number 6, read this sentence from the article. The rock must be porous enough to let the water flow through it. The Latin root of porous means passage. This tells you that porous rock is what? Is old, or flat, or has openings, or has many colors. As we have here, the meaning is passage, and the rock need something to let the water flow through it, inside it. So it must have some openings or holes. So the answer of question number 6 is letter H, has openings. After that, page 161, question number 7. Which key detail supports the main idea of the article? Which choice here supports the main idea of the article? Letter A, the amount of water on Earth now is the same as it was in the past and will be in the future. B, you can volunteer with 3 or 4 friends to do a team experiment. C, the rock must be porous enough to let the water flow through it. D, about 71% of Earth's surface is water. The main idea of our article here is the water cycle. So letter A is talking about the amount of water which is related to the water cycle. So it will be the best key detail to support our main idea. The answer here would be letter A. After that, question number 8. Which key detail best supports the idea that water evaporates in sunlight? The choices, letter F, water moves from the ocean into air. G, in the atmosphere, water vapor changes to water drops. H, the sun turns water into invisible particles of moisture. I, water vapor cools off in the atmosphere or the air that surrounds Earth. Here about the sunlight and the water vapor, so it will be letter H, the sun turns water into invisible particles of moisture. The answer here for number 8 is letter H. After that, number 9, read the sentence from the article. The sun converts the water into small invisible particles of moisture called water vapor. The Latin root of converts is vert, meaning to turn. Based on this information, what does converts mean? Allows, or changes, or helps, or repeats. Of course, to turn is close to change, so it will be letter B. The last question we have. How did the author organize the steps to make the water cycle model? The choices: by giving the steps in order, or by showing the cause of water evaporation, or by comparing and contrasting water and water vapor, or by solving the problem of what causes condensation. If we look again at the steps here, we have them in order 1, 2, 3. So our choice is going to be letter F by giving steps in order. And by this we reach the end of our session. I hope you understood how we get the answers. If you have any question, please send it to me on Classera. Have a nice day and see you later. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.